I want to talk a little bit more about channelers, different types of channelers, and what's happening with the whole channeling movement, right? So, I'm not going to mention anyone that I think is doing it wrong or is um, being uncautious in their methods of channeling and communication to the world. But I will say that, for instance, in contrast, someone that's doing it right, in my opinion, is someone like Braca Goldsmith, right? Um, who mainly is an astrologer, and that's her own science and opinion. That's her own understanding, and she shares it for those it's helpful for. Um, she doesn't claim any authority or truth in particular to those things she's saying. It's just her understanding. She channels the Pleiadians, but if you listen to what she's saying, the messages are vague. The messages are just messages of love and hope. So really what she's channeling, in my opinion, whether they're Pleiadian or not, is kind of irrelevant. What I see her actually channeling is love. And so what she speaks out is love. However, we have large groups of channelers channeling specific information. And that information often deviates from love and into the territory of fear. And no one seems to notice. I would not trust these channelings. Giving people specific information on the future and acting as if this is a fact and any more than a possibility, even if it's likely. I sometimes talk about like the way I think things are likely to happen in the future. That's not just a channeling, that's all kinds of understanding and information, and that's me projecting it out. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. It's what I feel is likely. I've been pretty on point with that so far, but again, that's from my perspective. That's from my understanding. When you give people specific information as if it's truth, it's very likely to mislead them. If anything, it's just putting more ideas in their head that aren't ever going to be as relevant for them as they were for you. It's very different from just channeling messages of love and hope. Whether they come from Arcturus or Pleiades or from your higher self, it's not really so important. Again, as the heart of the message. Now, there are a few channelers channeling specific information in an extraordinary way, and in order to accept them, I put them through rigorous and extraordinary study. And they held up. And for instance, Bashar. Bashar is claiming to be able to contact specific information, but time after time, Bashar has demonstrated extraordinary psychic connections, connections to the higher selves of the individuals involved for their own benefit, connection to extraordinary information, scientific and mathematical and geometrical and astronomical understandings, far beyond. His brain has been analyzed while he's been in to demonstrate he's in the great gamma state. Other psychics and channels and mediums have looked into him and the whole phenomenon of what's happening when Darryl Anka steps out and allows Bashar in. And for my opinion, he is actually backing up what he is saying of something extraordinary happening there. Something more than just receiving guidance from our higher selves in a way that we normally do. There is an extraordinary amount of specificity with him that allows his information to be trusted. But still, I would not trust any of it if it comes out of alignment with my own understanding or with my own higher self's vibration or feeling about it. Because even Darryl Anka, I'm sure, can allow distortions in. Anyone can. The specific way that he's channeling, letting his whole consciousness out, stepping out of the way, and basically allowing Bashar to use his body in that way, allows for more specificity. But even Bashar says they can make mistakes, and nothing is, because it's our free will too here. Nothing can be said with certainty. Anyone who's claiming certainty, and I hear lots of channelers be like, this is what's going to happen, or this is what they told me is going to happen. Like, and often it doesn't, and we don't hold them to that. Like, and we just keep listening. So be wary of channelers. I mean, again, you have to feel into what they're saying. If it's coming from love and it's helpful, good. If it's coming from fear, I would turn it off. Love and light.